Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. I'm so happy to be here. Had a very long weekend at the cabin, but unfortunately, it was pretty much 3 out of 4 days was just rain, so I didn't get very much done sitting around the cabin. But I did prep some upcoming shows, and now I'm not sure when I'll be doing those because I'm going to be a little busy this week having brain surgery again. Sounds like a fun week, doesn't it? And that is scheduled for Thursday. So I will be with you tonight and I will be with you tomorrow. And then I'm not sure when I will be back with you. But my heart will be with you wherever I am. So tonight, before we begin, I just wanted to get on my soapbox and get something off of my chest because it appears that the flaggetry that's going on with anybody critical of the quartering is also going on with anybody critical of, certain UFO grifters. And it appears that hidden in plain sight has been deplatformed, removed completely off of YouTube. And this is very unfortunate, but some would say it's to be expected in this current climate. So before we begin on tonight's major presentation, we'll be showing you all of the latest Trump UFO files, and I'll be giving my thoughts and analysis and commentary on those. But before we begin, I want to talk about these deplatformers, the sniveling, power-hungry cowards who are always the villains. Always. They're always the bad guys, and history proves it every damn time. So listen up, you self-righteous speech stiflers, you cancel culture crusaders, you pathetic little hall monitors of the human mind. Anyone who schemes, plots, or celebrates the deplatforming, silencing, no platforming, or outright destruction of another person's voice is not just wrong. You are the villains. You are always the villains in these stories and in history. You are the bad guys in every story like this ever told. The sniveling cowards who have blood on your hands from every dark chapter in human history. They're pretending that they're protecting the vulnerable, with their boot on everyone's necks. They're not defending the vulnerable. They're the ones digging the grave of democracy and free speech. Every time they clutch their pearls and hit report and organize their mob of retarded people, or demand someone lose their job, their platform, their life's work, or they harass people into silence with false police reports, false CPS claims, false claims that somebody's friends with PDF files. Well, they expose themselves as the weakest, most contemptible creatures crawling across this earth, like the snakes that they are. Because, my friends, free speech isn't some fragile little hobby just reserved for the privileged few. It is the raw beating heart of civilization itself, the oxygen that lets ideas live or die in an arena of open debate. Every single breakthrough that dragged humanity out of the mud came from someone daring to scream the forbidden truth while the censors howled for their heads. Galileo didn't rot under house arrest because he was wrong or even because he was rude. The church thugs in the Catholic Church couldn't stomach his truth that the sun sitting at the center of the solar system was true, and that actually the earth revolved around the sun and not the other way around. Socrates was forced to drink hemlock, not for bad philosophy, but because the Athenian elite couldn't debate him without looking like idiots. And they all faced the same snarling mob of deplatformers who preferred silence to truth. And don't you dare pretend that these modern tantrums and censor mobs are any different. The Red Guard in Mao's China didn't protect the people. They smashed skulls and burned books to keep the party's lies alive. And then, of course, the German Nazis didn't just disagree with Jews, gays, or intellectuals. They deplatformed them straight into the gas chambers. Stalin's gulags were built on the bones of anyone who whispered the wrong idea or dared to criticize the party. line. Every theocracy, every dictatorship, every smug campus tribunal or corporate HR review starts with the exact same oily lie that these people peddle today, that this speech is dangerous. We must shield the fragile masses from it. And the body count from that lie stretches into the tens of millions, rivers of blood spilled because cowards like these people were too terrified to let ideas fight fair in the court of public opinion. And yet, in our modern situation, these people never debate. They can't. And they never refute the true reporting or, things people are talking about. They never risk their precious little worldview in the open marketplace of ideas. No, they slither into the shadows, weaponizing outrage, doxing people or threatening to dox people, organizing boycotts, calling for justice while somehow simultaneously harassing and stalking people. And they want to send people into algorithmic exile because their arguments are so pathetic they'd collapse in 5 minutes of honest scrutiny or, God forbid, open debate. They wrap their power grabs in the sickening language of compassion and safety and protecting the vulnerable, while they practice the exact same tactics as every two-bit tyrant who ever lived. Protecting the vulnerable or protecting democracy, they whine. Bullshit. They're not punching up. They're punching down from their ivory towers of unearned moral superiority, terrified that someone somewhere may hear an idea that makes their entire house of cards tremble and fall apart. The arrogance of these people is actually vomit-inducing. They sneer that ordinary people can't handle certain opinions as if the rest of us are drooling infants who need them to curate reality for us. They insult the intelligence of every human being alive while patting themselves on the back for their superior empathy. Newsflash, my friends, real truth doesn't need your safe spaces. Real science doesn't file complaints with human resources or, God forbid, child protective services or the police. Real moral progress doesn't come from a blacklist and a severed microphone. And the moment they get to start deciding what the rest of humanity is allowed to hear, see, or, God forbid, think, they have declared themselves the enemy of free speech and the enemy of progress, reason, freedom, and liberty, and, of course, basic human dignity. And here's the part that really makes my blood boil when it's pointed out. Deplatforming doesn't kill ideas. I believe that the hidden in plain sight boys will rise again, much more powerful than before. It's going to supercharge them. Sure, it's going to drive them into the underground where they can come roaring back 10 times more powerful. It creates martyrs. It hands the moral high ground to the very people they're trying to destroy. Every silenced voice becomes proof that you lost that argument so badly you had to break the arena that you could never win in. And history laughs at these people. The censors of yesterday are the punchlines of today. Their hashtags and petitions will be tomorrow's cautionary tales. They love free speech when it's convenient for them, when they get to speak. But when it's their side screaming bloody murder, it's activism. When it's the other side, it's hate speech that must be erased from existence. The selective amnesia that these people seem to have is the tell. It reveals the rotting core of their entire ideology. These people do not believe in the truth. They believe in controlling information, kind of like a cult. They're addicted to the godlike thrill of deciding somehow whose voice gets to exist. So spare me the tortured, self-serving justifications. Spare me the fake tears about harm and trauma that they claim people are causing with nothing more than free speech. History has already delivered its verdict with the cold, merciless clarity of a guillotine. The people who try to control what others are allowed to say are always, my friends, always the villains. They always have been, and they always will be. From the Inquisition to the Gulag to the Twitter pylon of more modern society. The flagot or the deplatformer is the eternal enemy of everything good, true, and free. The only thing non-negotiable in a sane world is this: free speech must be absolute. And yes, it may be ugly, it may be offensive, and it may be unrestricted. It may hurt people's feelings. It may shatter people's delusional illusions of what the world is really about. And good free speech, in my opinion, will make people uncomfortable as hell. But that's the entire point. The moment you appoint yourself the arbiter of what the rest of us can hear, you have proven beyond any shadow of a doubt that you are the bad guy in this story. And the rest of humanity is better off ignoring every word that slitters out of your censorious, power-drunk mouth. You've been warned. The arena is open. So step into it fairly or shut up forever. The choice is yours, but history is already writing the epitaph for every last one of you who seek to deplatform people and stomp all over free speech. All right, my friends, and now I will get off my soapbox. The links to Hidden in Plain Sight's Rumble channel, as well as the links to their Kick channel, they've just begun a Kick channel, are in the description of this video. So please do go and follow them on Rumble or follow them on Kick. All these people have succeeded in doing is taking away one platform, which to me, nobody should have the right to do that. They're not doing anything wrong. Did their jokes hurt you? Show me on this doll where Hidden in Plain Sight hurt you on the internet, you bitches. It's ridiculous that this is, I don't know the details, but apparently it had something to do with child safety of all things. So really it's, you know, some of these justice people, right? We're getting justice by removing people's YouTube channels. No, you're not getting justice. You're an asshole. That's what you are. You know, what else can I say? These people are so stupid. They are the stupidest people that I've ever come across on the entire of the internet. You know, these people say, we're fighting stalking and we're fighting harassment. And they're doing that by stalking and harassing people. And now it's gotten to the point that some of these people are openly threatening people. Like, we're going to call your family. We're going to call your job. We're going to dox you. We're going to get your YouTube channel destroyed. Like, do they have any self-awareness? That's harassment, you dumb bitches. Like, come on. No self-awareness, right? Doesn't anybody realize, like, if you're saying, oh, these people are bad people, they're harassing people with that damn free speech they have, and then you go threaten their family, you threaten to call their family, call their job, you know, threaten to attack them in various different ways, don't you realize that you've lost the argument? Like, people are already, you know, getting so many messages like, are these people really this stupid? Yes. No matter how stupid you think these people are, they're even stupider than that. So, you know, that's all I have to say on that. And I really don't like the deplatformers, whether it's the quartering or whether it's these justice warriors. They're warriors for justice. We're warriors for justice, and we're getting justice by threatening people's family and affecting their children adversely and calling the police. We're going to call their jobs. We're getting justice. You're not getting justice. You're ludicrous and ridiculous. And your whole arguments are so weak, they fall apart under scrutiny. They fall apart under the least little bit of debate. And that's why, of course, they're trying to get people nuked off the internet so that you can't hear what people have to say about their nonsense. And I, for one, will not stand for it, right? Yeah, so we're going to get into, put my fair use banner up, even though I don't think I need a fair use banner. These are all government videos, and we want to take a moment to thank John from the Black Vault. Be sure you go over and subscribe to John from the Black Vault. Again, I was going to put a compilation of these videos together, but then I saw that John Greenwald Jr., God bless him, from the Black Vault, did it already. So I don't have to do it. and we're going to go through all of these videos. I'm going to take a moment to welcome in the live chat, whether you're chatting on our Kick chat, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Kick. Welcome one and all chatters. We want to take a moment. Look at that. Already some kind and generous folks. The Kick chatters are beating the YouTube brokies. We've got Wig Splitter just gifted a sub to Reardon Steel. Thank you for the big Kick support. And I always say this, if you become a Kick follower during our live broadcast, I give you a big shout out and thank you. So Melly just followed the Kick channel. Not Here T just followed the Kick channel. Freud in Death Drive followed the Kick channel, and Kick Schicker just followed the Kick channel. So thank you all for the follow. We're trying to get our Kick numbers up because I have a feeling we may end up there, like hidden in plain sight eventually. Go to kick.com/Truth Seeker Show and follow us there. Only takes a moment to sign up for Kick if you don't already have a Kick account. We want to take a moment to welcome. Yes, we have a good crowd tonight. Lots of people already here. So the last analysis of these Trump UFO files we did was very underwhelming, right? Jared's probably currently zooted, or do you mean Xanax, trying to come up with a tweet? Yeah, that could be it. I don't know what he's doing. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over all of these wonderful latest Trump UFO files. And I got to tell you, I think we're in for some more disappointment, friends. Yeah, more disappointment to follow. But it's interesting because I think that this sort of releases from the government, it just kind of shows that the UFO grifters are all scammers and liars, because they all say, especially the ones that worked for the government, like, oh no, with the government, they've got 4K super clear high res images of alien spaceships, right? That's what they all kind of pretend, right? And then Trump says, okay, release it all. And look at what we're getting, this grainy ass nonsense, right? All right. So, and most of these are taking off most of these are taken off of government surveillance website, or excuse me, government surveillance platforms like Reaper drones and other platforms like that. And I don't know what's going on here, but I would think that they would have better stuff than this. Like, what are we even looking at? Oh, there was some shadow that just flew across the right side of the screen. It could literally be anything. A bird, a blob, I don't know. Yeah, kind of goes catty corner. I mean, that could be a bullet, a missile. I don't know what it is that we're looking at, right? All right, well, do we go to the next one? What do you guys think of this one? I think this is a nothing burger. Can't tell what that is. Could be a bug right in front of the camera system. Could be a bird. I do not know. Some of them are a little more interesting than others. Looks like a parallax, or looks like this one is being hand tracked. It's not locked on, so a human operator is tracking the object. Again, a white sphere off in the distance. Could be a white party balloon. I just don't know. And I get it. And look at how grainy this video is. Why is it so grainy? And I get it. People, no, Stephen, that's an alien plasmoid. Okay. All right. If you say so, it's an alien plasmoid. I mean, if it's not parallax, I would say it looks like it's under some sort of propulsion or control. So not a balloon. What do you guys think in the live chat? Or is it an alien? I think it might be an alien spooge monster. We might be looking at an alien spooge monster. Who knows? Oh, and I forgot to do the call to action. I'm a terrible show host. I just want to remind everybody we are a viewer supported show. I'll be reading every single super chat tonight, and I will be calling out any kick support as well. So if you become a subscriber, if you gift a sub on Kick, or even if you become a follower, Buffalo Sponks just followed the Kick channel. We have Stump Garden just followed the Kick channel. Thank you for the follows. Even if you follow us on Kick, I'll give you a big shout out and thank you. When will I be opening Pokemon cards for $50 each? Later tonight, if this stream doesn't start producing some support, right? Ciphers? No, I'm not into. I don't like expensive hobbies. I have enough hobbies that are expensive, like I don't know, eating and putting gasoline in my car. I can't afford expensive hobbies like these people that spend $10,000 for Pokemon cards and shit like that. I don't know how people do that. Like I have a friend who spent like tens of thousands of dollars on what is it? I call it Dorkhammer, Warhammer. Like he buys all the figures and paints them and stuff, and he's got whole armies of Warhammer for playing Warhammer. But like literally, he spent tens of thousands of dollars on that shit. And meanwhile, his house is falling apart, his car's falling apart. Some of those hobbies are not good for you. Yeah, I'm looking at this thinking some sort of drone because it appears to be under intelligent control. It's moving left, right. It's not just traveling in a straight line. And so this is what Trump is giving us. And, honestly, I don't see the value in any of the stuff that they've released so far. The last batch, especially, was like, this is a little more interesting than the last batch so far, because it at least appears to be something with a propulsion system. But I don't understand how they can't. These are $1 million platforms, multi-million-dollar surveillance platforms. They can't zoom in and get a better look at what the object actually is. Why can't they zoom in? Why is it so grainy? Now, and I know the true believers are like, it's changing shape. It appears that way. My best guess so far for this one is an alien spooge monster. Like a space herpy alien spooge monster. And now, why did the video cut in half? Oh, now it's back. Sensor glitch, malfunction. I mean, I don't know. And honestly, we can view these releases as a lens into the grifter zone because the grifters are making this stuff into whatever they want it to be, not based on evidence, just based on feelings. They don't have facts. They have these videos and they have their feelings of what it could be. And I, for one, like what value is there in this in a video that's okay? It's unexplained. We don't know what it is because the operator didn't zoom in on it enough. Now it looks like a balloon. It looks like a round balloon, just jumping around in the wind. Before it looked like a square, not a round object. And is this what I really want my government spending money on a multi-million-dollar platform doing? I don't know. Not really. And now we're getting into the balloon zone, I guess. Again, little or no value these things have. It's a white dot on a screen. And again, they've removed all the sensor data, which could tell us like what direction the object is in, what the GPS coordinates are. We could geolocate. We could tell what speed the object was going. They deleted all of that, so we can't really know. I mean, does it get any better? Not really. And again, they don't have an ability to zoom in on it. Again, it appears to be parallax as well, because the camera is moving to track it, or the surveillance platform is moving to track it. Looks like changing ranges on the surveillance platform. Further back, that doesn't really help. Okay, I think that's it for that one. Yeah. 5 minutes of a balloon video. I guess, right? This one's 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Again, a round object. That's alien energy pulses, I guess. All right, and I'm going to share some comments from the live chat, because I don't get it. I don't even know what the hell we're looking at or care. And like I said, like, why can't they zoom close to the object so we can get a close-up view of what the object actually is? Spy balloon and such, says Celine Antonia. Looks more like a party balloon to me. And they're flipping in and out of infrared. So when you see the object black, that means that the object has no heat signature, which would correspond with just a balloon floating along the ocean or something on a wind current, right? And I see the super chats. I will get to them in a moment. We'll get to this next video, and then I'll call those out. We call out and we read every single super chat, and thank you guys for the support. I mean, we did a series before called What Is It? These would be perfect for that if you could actually solve it. And you probably could if you had more of the sensor data. I'm sure McWest could. But they're not giving us the sensor data with any of these drops. And that's because of sources and methods. They don't want our adversaries to know what our surveillance platforms are capable of. Yeah, this one just looks like a balloon to me. I mean, it's a round object. I don't know what that reflections are. It could just be reflections of the sun or sensor anomalies while tracking the object. You see those every once in a while. It looks like a light source from behind it, or I mean, as interested as I am in UFOs, this kind of stuff doesn't excite me one bit. It's like, okay, it's probably a balloon. And like Stanton Freeman famously said, I'm not interested. See that? It looks like it's illuminated, but that could just be the sun, the reflection of the sun on a white balloon. I don't know. And again, I'm certainly no expert, especially when it comes to government surveillance platforms. I will say this, a lot of these videos are tracking a real object, but, you know, does that make it any better than a fake CGI flying saucer video? Not really. Or any more valuable? I don't know. I don't know. And again, it's not locked on. So the operator of this surveillance platform, whether it's a Reaper drone or whatever it is tracking the object by hand with like a joystick. All right. We'll go to the super chats because that's some better news. We've got Troll with one. Here's for an Arby's classic roast beef sandwich. You know, my birthday is coming up. It's this Sunday night. And my wife was just asking me what I want for birthday dinner. But I think I'm going to go with Chinese. But I will get an Arby's classic roast beef sandwich soon. And I will think of you, Troll, when I do that. Thank you for the support. And we've got Cephers 2592 gifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Truth Seekers memberships. And this, my friends, is why you got to hit that subscribe button right now. Hitting the subscribe button is a huge boost to our channel. It really helps us out. And not only that, but you should have a selfish motive for hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you hit that subscribe button, you could be eligible to win when one of these kind and generous friends like Sippers 2592 gifts these memberships. You could win one, but you've got to be a subscriber. So be sure to smash that subscribe button and you could win one. 5 people have just been gifted a Truth Seekers memberships thanks to the kindness, generosity, and support of Sippers 2592. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Amber Gedden is here. Didn't have to work tonight. Good to see you. Saying, I finally get to join my Truth Seekers peeps. It's been a while. The Stormtrooper balloon video is hysterical. I'm going to share that one. There's a Stormtrooper balloon in here. And, people are saying it's a genuine video of a flying humanoid. No, it's a fucking Star Wars Stormtrooper balloon. You could buy it on Amazon. And you jump the gun. You're giving out spoilers, Amber Gedden. We're going to show that. But thank you, Amber Gedden, for kindness, generosity, and support of the show. And we've got Tim Curley with one for the goal. And thank you, Tim Curley, for putting a smile on my face. And thank you for being a member. He says you're irrelevant and or previously released UAP NHI slop, sir. Yeah. We're into the slop now, right? But don't worry, it's going to get even more sloppy, right? Now, I'm a little confused by the way he has this organized. So, okay, we did that one. Now we'll go to this next one. Oh, did we already do that one? Yeah, we've already done that one. There's another white dot one. Yes. Sorry. I should have figured out how to organize this better. I apologize. Again, another white dot video. Dot, 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 dot. Oh, we're way too far down. We shouldn't be this far down yet. Okay. All right, we're in sets of 4. Okay, so that is another white dot. And hand tracking yet again. Why do they block out that whole area? Okay. It looks like, oh no, Steven, that's a Tic Tac. It doesn't appear to be round. All right. Oh, it's a Tic Tac. It's a video of a Tic Tac UFO, Steven. If you say so. Again, a blob on a screen. And why is the government redacting half the video there and then putting it back? And here at this distance, it just looks like a round dot, a little white dot on the screen. And the thought occurred to me that a lot of this stuff they're releasing could literally be training videos where people are training on tracking objects, and they purposefully releasing things like balloons or using drones and saying, here, track the object in this quadrant or this area. I really think that pareidolia is at play here too, because the true believers are seeing whatever they want to see, and the skeptics are like blowing off most of this as garbage, because it really is underwhelming. We'll go to the next one here. This is video 10. And again, the graininess of this. Okay, so a white dot flies through the field of view. Now he's going to try to hand track the white dot. Oh, did he miss it? Did he go too far? Oh, there's the white dot again. Again, like, I feel bad for the true believers when I see this stuff. This is really, really the shocking truth I promised, right? It's very underwhelming. This whole release is very underwhelming. Well, this one's a little clearer, at least. And instead of a little white dot, we've got a little black dot. This just flew over a road. Looks like rocky terrain, like out of the test range in the desert somewhere. But again, they're not really, they're a little tight-lipped about where some of this stuff was filmed, I think because some of it was filmed over classified locations. But again, there's towns nearby classified test ranges. So if somebody, has a birthday party and a bunch of balloons get released, they could go over a test range. Again, more likely a balloon. It's good they gave us some variations, right? Instead of all white dots, we get black dots on some of them. But I don't know if that's because of the sensor systems. Yeah, just wow. And again with a white dot. Now that looks like a white dot with a string running behind it, or something running behind it. Looks like a string of balloons. Oh, no, that's probably birds. A flock of birds. It's a flock of birds, friends. This is what we get for our taxpayer dollars. You wanted disclosure, you got it. It's not aliens, friends. It's a flock of birds, in my opinion. some of these videos like this, I have zoomed in on the object and stabilized it, and you see the flapping of the wings. Again, why is our government spending time tracking flocks of birds? It just doesn't appear to make any sense whatsoever. I don't know, friends. Oh, we did that one. We'll go to find the next one. Let's try this one. Well, this is over a cargo ship, it looks like. Awful lot of Chinese drones out in the seas, I hear. Looks like some sort of object just below the cursor that is being hand tracked. Again, I don't know why they don't lock on to the object that they're tracking, and they do it by hand often. What just happened? It probably changed to IR sensor. Or FLIR and back. There's a 5-minute long video of nothing. No, little white dot again. Well, there they zoomed in on it, but it got away from him too fast. Oh, a balloon and a string. That's a balloon and a string. There's even a string coming off of it. No, Steven, that's a jellyfish UFO. It's a squid jellyfish alien UFO. Or it's a balloon with a string hanging from it. Again, the underwhelmingness of it all. The underwhelmingness. I mean, how many of these are there? We'll go from the bottom up. Try that. Whoa, look at that. Hold on. Stop the presses. Again, a little white object. And if this is the best our advanced surveillance systems can do, we're fucked when it comes to Chinese drones, spy drones, because it looks like they'll be able to fly anywhere and we'll not be able to even image them correctly or closely, right? I mean, look how far away that object is. It's a tiny speck on the full frame of the video. It could literally be anything: a bird, a balloon, a plastic bag floating in the wind. Don't laugh. I've seen a few of those and thought I was seeing something spectacular until I realized what it was with binoculars. I mean, it's literally just a white dot on a screen. We'll take a moment to recognize some kind and generous friends. We want to thank Tales of the Sonic Voyage. who said, tuned in for the Pokemon cards, stuck watching dots. Hey, this is high quality UFO footage from the government. It's not my fault if it's slop, Tales from the Sonic. It's not my slop. I didn't film this slop. The government did. They're giving us disclosure. This is the Trump UFO files. Not much difference, really. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And look at that. Rustin Rourke gifting. Remember earlier when I said you really got to smash the subscribe button? Smash that subscribe button. Huge boost to our channel. And you could win a free True Seekers channel membership, just like 20 people just did. Thanks to Rustin Rourke. What a big supporter, Rustin Rourke, gifting 20. He's breaking the machine, gifting all these True Seekers membership. I think that's 20. Thank you, Rustin Rourke, for your kindness, generosity, and big support of the show. Much appreciated. And we've got Darth Bear Starred just followed us on Kick, and Son of Boston 1987 just followed the channel. So thank you for the follow. Go to kick.com/True Seeker Show and follow us on Kick. I'll give you a big shout out and thank you. And my tremendous thank you and how generous of Rustin Rourke, who's one of these MVPs, comes in every once in a while and drops a big dono bomb. So we're always happy to see him. Thank you, Rustin Rourke, for your kindness, your generosity, and big support of the show. He's expanding our True Seekers memberships. Big supporter of the True Seekers Army. Thank you, Rustin Rourke. Very kind of you. I don't know what else to do with this slop. I mean, high quality videos that we have here. We'll try the next one here. Do they get any better? I mean, that doesn't look like they get any better. So there's the ground below and there's clouds. And I don't know what kind of surveillance platform this is. We've got some audio files with this release too. We can try those and see if those are any less slop. And I just want to remind people how excited everybody was about these releases coming out, right? Like, Trump's going to tell us the truth about those aliens. So far, all he's told us, all this has taught us is that the United States government surveillance platforms, as powerful as they're supposed to be, are largely trash. They can't even image a balloon close up and tell, okay, that's a balloon. It's not a threat. Ignore it. And some of these are so bad that it's just a tiny speck. And I don't know. I'm visually impaired. I can't even see what oh, there's a little black speck up there in the upper right of the screen. Yeah. Tiny black speck. And again, I'm really not interested in balloons or that object is moving incredibly slow, but it appears to be moving counter to the wind. I'll say that much. The wind is moving to the left and the object is moving to the right. So people will say, well, it can't be a balloon. Well, it could be a Walmart $40 drone at this range. You know, there's just no telling. That's a good idea. We already couldn't see it. Zoom out as far as you can. And again, unexplained does not mean alien. Let's make sure we put that on the record. I don't know. You know, there's some commentators and show hosts are saying things like, oh, this is just a distraction. They're hiding the good stuff. I guess so, because this is shit. This is shit. Well, still a little black dot there. You're tracking. Let's see what these audio files.
I have some more of the white particles in view below the capsule.
This is, again, NASA files that were already released.
They appear to be traveling exactly my speed. There is one drifting off.
So these NASA files are nothing
Now
but...
we're going to get the brilliant blue of sun rising in the east. Bright blue band underneath all this haze layer.
Sounds like Gordon Cooper.
See the haze layer and the bright band of light demarcation coming underneath it.
Again, all these NASA files are already released.
And now at 1 hour at this time.
These Trump files were supposed to be new, never before released stuff. But somehow they keep including stuff that's been in the public domain for decades.
I now have 1 hour and 21 minutes, and I am observing John's fireflies drifting away from me.
So these audio files are largely nothing burgers because these are NASA files that have been in the public domain for decades.
The scope is blocking out rather rapidly at sunset. It's almost blocked out completely at this point. And it's really...
I'd love to know who the curator of who is releasing these files or gathering these files for release from the government is. Like, well, let's just give them whatever slop we can come up with.
A few very bright particles or fragments or something that go drifting by as we maneuver. Roger, understand. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of big ones on my window center. Just bright. Looks like the 4th of July out Ron's window.
Again.
Listen, we read this paragraph in here about these quotes coronal discharges that you guys were seeing, and that completely stops us. Tell us how this came about and who talked to you about it and what you saw.
He reported it on, or somebody reported on one of the earlier flights that.
Again, long released files that have nothing to do with aliens, really. You know, people see strange things, especially in space. Ice particles look a lot different. Remember the Black Knight satellite famous photo was a thermal blanket that got out of the shuttle bay of the cargo bay, of the space shuttle. We'll try to go through these. Then I'm going to show you some of the debunks that are already out there for some of the funnier ones, like the stormtrooper balloon and things of that nature. Let me see if I could cue those up and find those, because that's kind of funny. You know, people are seeing aliens flying around. No, we're seeing, angels in flight. The Daily Mail is reporting new biblical fears as declassified UFO files reveal angels in flight. And Stephen Greenstreet is laughing at them because they included a photo of a stormtrooper balloon. And here we have another underwhelming, just totally underwhelming. Again, a blot on a screen. What the fuck is that? Is that a Big Bird balloon? Are we really wasting government time and resources on a... What the fuck? Is my government really tracking a fucking Big Bird balloon? Oh no, that's a ship. See what I mean? It looked like Big Bird balloon floating in the sky. They're tracking a ship. All right. You see how your eyes can play tricks on you? I didn't see a ship. I saw a Big Bird. And we've got Broken Hip with a super sticker. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And we've got Tales of the Sonic Voyage. With one for the goal, who says, I feel fully disclosed now. Yeah, so do I. I don't even, why are they tracking this ship? I'm confused. What are we need like a slop guide. Maybe I really apologize. I should have written a slop guide before we got into this. I mean, I don't know what we're tracking. I see the ship. I don't see any alien spaceships here. Changing the sensor data. Oh, a little black dot. That's what we were tracking. I couldn't even see it on the previous frame. A little black dot just below the cursor in the middle of the screen. Again, likely balloon. I wonder how much money our government wastes on, like nutty drone operators thinking that they're seeing UFOs or UAPs when they're really just seeing balloons, right? I think we've already seen this one. This is the black dot. Looks like a square, though. Okay, so it's a black square. That's a little different than what we saw before. Oh, no, white dot. I'm sorry. The black dot on the screen, the black square on the screen is part of the sensor layout array, I guess. Again, a white dot. Oh, just... tantalizingly alien, this stuff, right? And again, why is it so grainy and cloudy and shitty? And here we have what looks like a square flying around. Oh, that's an oil platform or something? A drilling rig, maybe? Oh, but there's a little dot next to it. That's what they're tracking. A couple little dots. Barely visible on the screen. A bunch of little dots. Again, I'm going to say flock of birds. Why is our government wasting money on people operating multi-million-dollar surveillance platforms looking at birds around I guess that's a drilling platform or something like that in the ocean? I mean, I can't tell for sure that that's birds, but that would be my guess. You have like 6, 7, 8 objects right around a platform out in the middle of the ocean. More than likely, that's voids. Try this one. Well, that one's a little more interesting, right? But again, it sounds like helicopter rotor wash to me. Well, that one's a little more interesting, I would say. But still, if I'm hearing helicopter rotor wash, I'm not very excited about that one. Oh, we are into the slop, my friends. We are fully into the slop. Anime Chris, I'll get to your super chat next. That's pretty good. Oh, we saw that one. Let me get to the next one. Again, we've got a black dot. Well, at least they zoomed in on it a little bit in this one. You know, I really think they got to work on these sensor systems to get them to be able to identify, even at a far distance, things like birds, balloons. Looks like all that flies in the sky is not alien spaceships, you know? Occam's razor. Again, just looks like a bird or a balloon flying by the camera. And I don't understand these redactions. Like, let's block out half the screen for a second and then we'll let everybody see it. Like, I don't know what they're trying to obscure from the public or why. It would be nice to have some explanation. Again, black dot right above the cursor. You know, I just want to say, if these are aliens, these are the most boring alien spaceships I've ever seen. Now that looks like the back of a drone or an airplane, what we just saw. I don't know. Does anybody else? I keep finding myself waiting to see something really cool, but we don't. And there's a big black dot in the cursor. Why? Why would they black that out? Now they're blocking out the top half of the screen, top 3/4 of the screen. And again, these people are hand tracking these things, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. And oh, look, we're going to black out what the camera is saying. Why? What is so important? If this is just a balloon or a bird, you don't need to redact any portion of the video. Now that got strange because now there appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4 objects. You know, like I don't understand. Like, you're looking at this stuff going like, well, it could literally be anything. Wow, nothing burger again. And again, when you see those pivots, they're going to different camera modes, FLIR, night vision, you know, different modes. I want to thank Anime Chris for a kind and generous $5 and one towards the goal. And he says, no wonder Jesse Waters said that green lizard aliens are among us. Look at all this irrefutable evidence. Way to do your due diligence on this one. Absolutely, Anime Chris. These alien grifters, like, if this is the best evidence you have that aliens are visiting Earth, then you're a fucking moron, right? Right, Anime Chris? I mean, it's just one of those things. Louisiana Hot Sauce just sent 2,000 kicks. He sent a yap. That's 2,000 kicks. Very, very kind of you. He says, thanks for making work a little less boring, Steve. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And we want to thank Rusty Shackleford 420, who just followed our Kick channel. Please do follow our Kick channel. Just go to kick.com/Truthseeker Show. And thank you, Louisiana Hot Sauce, for the 2,000 kicks. Very, very kind of you. We love Kick because they let us keep most of the money. So especially if you got a big bomb to drop it over on Kick. We prefer that. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Well, let's go to this next batch of 4 and redact it. What are we even looking at here? All the sensor data is redacted. So good luck figuring out what this is. They couldn't with all the sensor data, right? Okay, looks like there's an exhaust trail coming off of it, whatever it is. Unless that's the spotlight. I don't know. Looks like it could be an airplane off in the very, very distance, you know? Okay, white blob. It's a blob alien. Maybe it's a blob alien, right? I don't know. It could be a blob alien. Oh, this one is at least in color. Well, it was in color. Again, this looks like a balloon flying over. Oh, Stephen, it's an alien space monster. It's a shape-shifting alien space monster. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. There was a string. It's 2 balloons and a string. Clearly a string coming off of it. Like literally a children's couple of balloons tied together. That's what our government is wasting time tracking with $100 million surveillance platforms. Like, hey, man, that's a balloon with 2 balloons with strings. Multiple angles of 2 balloons with strings. Very exciting. And again, I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't want my government wasting time on, it takes a lot of money to operate these very expensive drones and surveillance platforms. Why are we wasting time? The moment you realize, like, oh, that's 2 balloons on a string, the operator should not waste any more time tracking that object unless it's for training purposes. And that's what I was saying. I think a lot of this stuff is training videos. That's what we're getting. We're getting the garbage bottom of the bin. Like, let's just give them the garbage training videos where we let some balloons go off of a ship, make the operator fly the drone off of nearby the ship and see if he can find the balloons. And is our government playing find a balloon with $100 million surveillance platform like a Reaper drone? I don't know. We'll check. What does a Reaper drone cost? $30 million, but still, come on. $30 million is $30 million, right? They're literally tracking balloons with strings coming off of them with a $30 million surveillance platform. And by the way, I don't know for sure that's a Reaper drone, but I believe it is. Somebody in the comments or the live chat, you're free to correct me. And a black dot this time. Oh no, a black dot. Oh, this one's he tracked this one. That's not manually being tracked. That one was locked onto. That one seemed to get away from the operator even after it was locked onto. So I'm sure the true believers will say that that's definitely an alien spaceship. It got away from our sensors. We were powerless against it. Did lock on to the object. And now we go. Oh, got away from us. Let's go to the next one. Looks like some kind of industrial, over an industrial area or manufacturing center or something like that. All right, black object crosses the sky. Oh, I wasn't quick enough on the draw. Well, that one appears to be elongated, so who knows? Missile, drone. This stuff is just like so ambiguous. It looks like pareidolia is kicking in, like people see whatever they want to see. Like this one, the Daily Mail. New biblical fears as declassified UFO files reveal angels in flight. And I'm going to try to get us over to that article. The Daily Mail saying this is a chilling UAP.
Meet the most insightful.
Oh, hold on. Of course there's ads, right? Of course there's ads from the Daily Mail. Give me we'll skip past that. Okay. Now we'll share it. I'm not sharing their ads. A sensor on a U.S. military platform captured a UAP moving in unusual forms. They say this is an angel. Let's see. What does the actual article have to say? The Trump administration released a fresh wave of UFO files last week, including never before seen footage of mysterious objects that some have compared to entities in the Bible. The latest batch in the White House's push for UFO disclosure arrives Friday, including 46 videos Congress has been demanding the Pentagon release for months. Some of the clearest footage involved two incidents where U.S. satellites captured oddly. How much is a spy satellite? $100 million? This is what gets me, is that they're using like $100 million platforms to image this stuff. One of the videos appeared to show a small figure in flight, and some have claimed looks like a person with wings moving through the air as protrusions from its upper body moved back and forth. Out of the newly released files, this one is easily the wildest. The object appears almost humanoid with visible arms and legs, one person said. The UFO looks almost like an angel. Pretty amazing video, another commenter added on social media. The other video incident showed a strange object for over 10 minutes flying over water. However, as U.S. military satellites zoomed in, the object appeared to have several protrusions or tentacles on all sides. This was the latest strangely shaped object that somewhat resembled a biblical object known as a cherubim, a multi-faced winged angelic beings described in the Bible's book of Ezekiel. Congress recently requested 48 UFO videos from the Department of War, and 8 of them were leaked to an investigative journalist. No, 8 of them were leaked to Jeremy Corbell. He's not an investigative journalist. He's a garbage peddling scumbag. Oh no, garbage peddling scumbag alert. And let's go to Stephen Greenstreet for the debunk. Yeah, these are the... Oh no, I can't play the music. Sorry, it's copyrighted. God damn. These are stormtrooper balloons, friends. That's what these objects were. More than likely. And yes, you can buy these blow-up stormtrooper balloons on Amazon. And yes, if you have a helium tank, you can fill them with helium. So what do you guys think? Isn't this just completely and totally over the top, these claims that people are making? Like, look at this. This is a fucking stormtrooper balloon that you could buy on Amazon. First of all, why are government satellites wasting government time and resources imaging a stormtrooper balloon? And then the media gets hold of it and turns it into, these are angels. These are angels, right? These are angels from the Bible, just like they said they were in the Bible, right? And come on. Why is my government wasting so much time and money on things like stormtrooper balloons? And am I not allowed as a taxpayer to be pissed off that they're wasting time on I don't know. Let's check. What does the average U.S. spy satellite cost? A traditional exquisite class U.S. spy satellite like the National Reconnaissance Office KH-11 costs roughly $1 billion to $2 billion to build and launch. So it's worse than using a $100 million platform. They're using billion-dollar platforms to take images of a Star Wars balloon. This is all the fault of people like Lou Elizondo and Christopher Mellon and, Tim Gallaudet and Gary Nolan and all these other nutters that are demanding that the government investigate these things. So great, let's waste time on a $2 billion platform so that people who have UFO brain disease can feel better. Like, oh, look, there's angels. No, you asshole, it's a stormtrooper balloon. Matthias with one for the goal. The UFO grift has made it to Congress. Yeah, and that's the problem. These grifters are able to infiltrate the United States government and convince stupid senators like, Tim Burchett and Lunatic Luna and a few others to waste government time and resources on this level of nonsense. Listen, if you have a $2 billion platform, it costs money to operate it, to upkeep it. They got to send maintenance crews sometimes. When they had the space shuttle, all the space shuttle did was spy satellite maintenance, most of their work, I believe. And you know what it costs to launch a launch vehicle, to go work on a satellite? And so we've got billions of dollars in these platforms, and this is what these morons are doing with a $2 billion platform. Don't you think they should be like imaging Iran and picking out targets for the Iran war or whatever? There's got to be better uses of those platforms, especially when it comes to national security. Or how about just, monitoring our coastlines? Because I believe that there's a problem on both the East Coast and the West Coast with Chinese drones. And we saw the Chinese spy balloons and things like that. The surveillance platforms that we have, our time would be much better spent on detecting and imaging adversarial technology that is a national security threat, like, Chinese drones or Russian drones or whatever drones are. There's drones off of both coasts. And it's interesting that nobody quite knows, how are they being flown off of our coast? No, in some cases, at least in the Pacific Ocean, they're tracking them to things like Chinese fishing vessels are launching spy drones, allegedly or apparently. But thank you, Matthias, for your kindness, generosity, and support. And we'll take a moment to check in with the live chat. Comments or questions for me, please put them in all capital letters. I don't know that I want to go through any more of this nonsense. These government so-called disclosure drops, I think, are largely a waste of time. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And how did I miss this one? Tales of the Sonic Voyage has been a member for 19 months. Oh no, I did read this one. You tuned in for the Pokemon card, stuck watching White Dots. Not much difference. Yeah, you're right about that. This is just government sponsored slop instead of DSP or quartering sponsored slop. And I really want to chime in and cover the quartering drama again this week, but I don't know that we'll have time. Tomorrow I'm going to do a show on the hidden costs of AI data centers. It is absolutely ridiculous what's going on with that. Comments and questions for me, please put them in all capital letters. Am I wrong in that I believe that these government drops are big nothing burgers? And I get the feeling that these are just a distraction, but then I think a distraction from what? Right? What are they trying to distract us with this? Don't worry about this. Yeah, keep your slop and give us the real stuff, says Tim Curley. The military-industrial complex is running the show. Simple as that, says Soil Alpin. Yeah, I mean, maybe. We have Space Force constantly monitoring what happens up there. They're not providing any proof. Watch Success. Sorry, these videos suck so much. I'm chatting about fun food. Well, sounds good to me, right? Someone sent a real super chat that the goal is broken again. It hasn't been working. I don't know why. I didn't get any notice from YouTube that it's broken, but the counter has not been working lately. So we have to the goal, I guess. I can go through and hand count it. Oh yeah, it hasn't updated. It's saying 0 of 30. And we have, hold on, I'll give an accurate count of what we have. We have 1, 2, 3. Well, you've got 6 of 30. It's not counting the goal. I don't know why, and I apologize for that. But we did get 20 gifted True Seekers memberships and 5 True Seekers memberships, 25 gifted memberships. So as far as I'm concerned, we did hit our goal tonight. And thank you for all of your kindness, generosity, and support. It also doesn't count the gifted memberships towards the goal, which it really should. And we got some kick support tonight, so I'm always happy to see that. We'll take some more comments and questions. But thanks for letting me know that the goal counter is broken, right? We need Anna Luna bikini pics. Full disclosure. Yeah, they're out there. She used to pose in bikinis on Instagram. And honestly, I think that was better. Her time was better spent doing that because she's doing absolutely nothing in government. You know who she strikes me like the hot girl in school that got everything handed to her. Like, oh, she's hot. Just give her like, make her the student body president or make her the homecoming queen or whatever. Richard Warner says, this crap sure inspires faith in our government. Not. Yeah. It's almost like Iran isn't really a nuclear threat. I don't know. I think what little I know about nuclear physics, if they had uranium enriched to 60-something%, it really only takes another week or two to get it to above the weapons grade, like 80 or 90%, I think. So maybe, maybe, just maybe, they were ready. And if we're not careful, they'll make a sprint to it. They'll dig up whatever they could find of the enriched uranium that they had and sprint to the finish line. They could develop a nuclear weapon right now during this ceasefire. I was a little worried about that. Spooky says, I'm trying to prove the source of the Phil Schneider FOIA document and the investigation into his alleged handling of deleted uranium and him amputating his own fingers. It's a crazy rabbit hole. Well, I think Joe did those FOIA requests, so I never did them to verify because I think Joe's a stand-up guy and wouldn't make that shit up. So we just rolled with it. I'm going to have to say goodnight. everyone. 4 a.m. comes really early. It's great to hang out with you all. Have a beautiful and blessed night. Well, thank you, Amber Gettin, and good to see you here. Drone goes 88 miles per hour and time travels. Does it got a flux capacitor in it? That's why, right? When you hit 88, you start you start time traveling. Matthias says Luna's disclosing to bikini parts. I think she should. Yeah, I don't want to be crass, but I really think she should concentrate on bikini pictures and not on being a member of the government, because I think she's completely worthless in government and she's a moron. No offense, but if you're that stupid that you're, saying things like interdimensional aliens and shit like that. I found the original file release in the FOIA logs, but apparently the document was stamped with the FOIA number and faked. That's not true, Spooky. Don't start, because then all these Phil Schneider retards are going to come after me. You used a fake document. No. I don't. He showed it on the screen. We have the document. You can capture it from when we covered it. Unfortunately, that video is gone, so I never got the original documents. Pakistan haven't even invented the toilet, and they got nuclear weapons, so Iran for sure could get them. Well, that's true. It's true. Stanton Friedman's eyebrows are kept at S4 along with Wilcox's vagina. Oh, boy. Let that guy rest in peace. Star Wars has more believable than these pictures. I mean, yeah. Anybody see Mandalorian and Grogu yet? And also, what did everybody, if you were watching The Boys, and I've been for the whole 5 seasons now, what did you think of the ending? I just finished it last night, and I was a little, I kind of knew what was going to happen, right? The whole series, they were trying to take out Homelander, so, it would have been very unfulfilling if they didn't wrap up the loose ends, but there was a few surprises. Yours and Hips are the only 2 I watch, both informative and funny. Can't believe they have been deplatformed. What is wrong with people? So sad and unnecessary. Never watched on Kick or Rumble, but I will. Yeah, follow them over there, Terry Sadler. And we'll try to keep pumping their channels, right? Yeah, they're nobody's as bad as that Skanks fans. Yeah. Just because Israel problem needs to be dealt with doesn't mean Iran is not also a problem that needs to be dealt with. Yeah, I'm all for foreign influence out of our government. Like, no foreign government, I would just say this. The people in the government or the powers that be are lucky that somebody like me isn't in charge, because I would cut all foreign aid the first day that I was the president. Not that I would want that job, but why? And then look what happens. The Strait of Hormuz is the perfect example. We spend billions of dollars on NORAD. We've got all these military bases and troops in all these foreign countries to help defend them. And then the Strait of Hormuz happens. They get all their oil through the Strait of Hormuz. They don't want to help. They don't want to help us. So I say, fuck them. Fuck them. Pull everything out. Pull everything out. Pull out of NATO. Pull out of all of the military. Take away every resource. Don't sell them weapons or sweetheart deals anymore. Let them defend themselves. They don't want to help us when we need help. Why should we help them? Doing well, thanks to Crow. I hope you've been doing well. Foreign aid should be for building indoor toilets. Yes. When is your next panel show? Well, if I don't croak on Thursday, which, by the way, is a very slim possibility. I'm going on Thursday. I'm having a minor brain surgery, but I still say that 2 words should never be put together: a minor and surgery, let alone minor and brain surgery. Yes, Hidden in Plain Sight have been deplatformed. And 3 guesses who was behind that, right? Yeah, I'd like to see the foreign influence out of our government. No foreign power should decide what we do with our taxpayers' money. We've got homeless veterans. Look at California and the homeless crisis there, right? Look at San Francisco. They literally have a map of shit where you could see where the highest concentrations of human feces are due to the homeless epidemic. I think we have plenty to do on our own soil, and not a penny should be given to foreign soil, any foreign power, before our own problems are solved. Maybe that's just the way I grew up. You know, my father was a very charitable man. As poor as we were growing up, he still gave to charity, but he taught me you take care of your own family first. Your family comes first, and then if you have it to spare, you help out others. But your family comes first. And it just seems like we love giving money away. Remember Doge? Yes, truth seekers' objectives survive. I have to be under general anesthetic. I hate that, Spooky. I hate anesthetic more than anything else. My biggest fear is that death is like anesthesia, because when you go under anesthesia, it's not like you're sleeping. You have no memory of anything. It's literally like amnesia juice. And you know, I don't like anesthesia one bit. I feel like they literally shut off your consciousness and you have no recollection of anything, no memory of anything. You don't dream. You just completely. I feel like every time I get put under anesthesia, I feel like I went to the null world or nowhere. Watch loves it. How could you like that? Oh man. It's like that's how I feel about people that like heroin or, you know, opiates. Like, how could you like that? I don't know. Yeah, we don't even know how it works. We just know it does work. So we'll just here breathe this in and good luck. Where do we find Hips now, says Arlene? In the description of this video or podcast, I put the link to both their Rumble channel and to their Kick channel. If you want to go over there and copy and paste it into the live chat, Arlene, I will pin it in our live chat so people can find them. Yeah, it's like a forced standby. Yeah. You wake up and everybody's tucking their shirts in. Yes. Hidden in plain sight. Links in the description. Please go support those guys. They didn't deserve to be deplatformed, right? Interesting experience for sure. Yeah, but it's one I could do without. And there's still some chance that I'm not going to be under that. There's something called Twilight where they kind of knock you out and they paralyze you. They knock you out like halfway and they paralyze your body so that you're not moving around and bothering the doctor during your surgery, but you're still conscious or mostly conscious. But that's terrifying too. Like, do I really want to be conscious for an hour while some guy's working on my brain and my bionic body parts? Not really. So I'm probably going to. There was some discussion. We said the neurosurgeon said we would talk about it on the day of the surgery, whether we're going to do the Twilight or the full knockout. But yeah. And then if they go through my groin, it's going to be longer recovery. I'm hoping they're going to go through my wrist, but apparently it's easier to go through the groin because it's straight up through the artery. And when you go through the wrist, there's a turn involved. I don't know. Amazing what they could do, though. Thank God they don't have to cut my head open to do this next minor brain surgery. And then again, they're very optimistic, but they're very cautious too with telling you what is the recovery time. If there's complications, I could be in the hospital for a while. If it goes very, very well, I could be coming home the same night. I've always been knocked out during Twilight too. I think my brain is always just begging for a break. Could be Tourette's related. How much my mind and body is revved at times. It's how much Tourette's do you? Watchik says she has Tourette's. I have to talk to Watchik on the phone because I think that somebody with Tourette's syndrome could be an excellent panel member or co-host for some of the Kick only shows, right? Especially if there's a way to like trigger you up so that you start ticking a lot. I had a friend in school that had Tourette's, and he used to curse at the nuns, and they didn't do anything because he couldn't help it. Like he'd just be like, "Fuck you, bitch," you know, right in the middle of school, and we would all laugh like hell, and then we would get yelled at for laughing. So eventually, we got used to him, and we would just kind of like laugh to ourselves, or the nuns would get mad at us. He'd be cursing at the nuns. It was awesome. Salty Pug says I had heart surgery that way. Anesthesia was fun, says Rusty Shackelford. I like the high before blacking out. Not me. Not me. I don't like it one bit. That Tourette's at a award ceremony was funny. Yeah, we put it in on Internet Insanity Circus. I would love to have watched it come and tick her ass off, right? Just cursing and fuck, and they couldn't they couldn't censor us or do anything about it because that's a disability, right? She could say anything. It's pretty mild mostly. I don't have the caparella part, just the motor ticks at times, but my diet keeps to a low enough level. I'd love to do a guest appearance. Well, only if you could get yourself to tick off and curse at people and shit and make it funny. Terrible what they did to the Scottish guy for shouting the N-word at Jamie Foxx. Yeah, it's not his fault. He couldn't help it. I would like to drink a bunch of rum and turn up talking like Alex Jones, but it might get the show canceled. Yeah, everybody, I don't know. We got to get that felt cast together for the kick only shows, right? They put the mic in front of them, of course. Yeah, it's not their fault. Well, if you have an official diagnosis, then nobody can tell the difference, Watch Sick. Yeah. So let me know what you think in the comments. What about this latest batch? And do we keep covering this slop? Like, they're going to release more of this slop. I don't think we're going to cover it again. But we might if it's a slow week, right? Tomorrow, we're doing a show on the hidden costs of AI data centers. And wait till you see this shit. Environmentally, AI data centers are terrible for any, especially a small town, which appears that most of them are in, right? And everybody's electricity bill goes up 30%. We're all just supposed to just eat that cost and pay for it while these billionaires are building these crazy, there's one that's 40 acres, 40-acre data center. I don't know if the whole building is 40 acres, but the data center itself is 40 acres. And it's destroying the local economy. It's destroying the local residents with additional bills. Just crazy. And we'll be doing that tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It may be the last show for the week. But if my recovery goes well, and I should mention that the recovery is kind of like, I should be okay even the next day. I just can't be like lifting heavy things and, running any marathons or things like that. Longtime YouTube subscriber of the phone over 4 years just recently came over. The kids, sorry to hear about your surgery, Steve. My dad has to have surgery on his arm and will no longer be able to ride his Harley for the next 6 months. Oh, I'm sorry for that. That's the only way me and him have been able to get around this summer. I'm really going to miss riding the bike with Cream and a commodity in the friendship and meeting all the people on the trips, praying for both in both the New York recovery. Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that. The people that are for the data centers are the same people that want to take away my steaks because cows fart. Yeah, just eat bugs, Arlene, right? Just eat bugs. Question from Rusty Shackelford. Do you think the general public will actually care about disclosure, or will they stop caring for a few weeks? I always bring up major recent events to people, and it's like they completely forgot. I think let's say we found out tomorrow that there was alien species that were intelligent and very much like us somewhere in the universe. If they announced that, I think people would care for about a week or two. And then, life goes on. You still got to go to work. You still got to pay your bills. It's not going to change anything for most people. I would feel like a little less alone in the world, in the universe. And I would feel like that would be a good thing to learn. But it wouldn't, I still got to feed my kids. I still got to pay my bills and got a lot of household projects to do. So I think life would go on and people would just, I don't think it would be that big of a deal, honestly, Rusty Shackelford. Blaze. Blase Uarte, 8296. I hope I said that right. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I hope you recover well. Some billionaire wants to turn an animal preserve where I live into a data center. Yeah. Also, and some of these AI data centers are stupid. Like, you're going to destroy a whole small town so that people could make funny pictures of cats, right? It's just stupid. or so that kids don't have to do their homework or write college papers. They could get Chat GPT to do it. But thank you, Blasiarte 8296 for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. We've been desensitized to UFOs. Yeah, I mean, it appears that way. Okay, so I think we're all caught up on the super chats. I'm going to bounce on out of here, friends, but I will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry we're a little light on content tonight. It's not my fault. It's the Trump slop, not mine. It's not my slop. It's Trump's slop, right? And we'll put that banner down. I don't even think I need that if it's government videos. But according to Jeremy Corbell, he was copyright claiming people sharing some of these videos because he put them in his latest documentary. That's a scumbag move. Jeremy Corbell, you don't own those videos. You can't copyright what the taxpayers already paid for, you dumb shit. And I don't know the full story, but maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. I want to thank you, kind and generous benefactors, you Patreon supporters, you YouTube channel members, and big thanks to those people gifting those memberships and expanding our YouTube channel members here on YouTube. Much, much appreciated. And thanks to you super chatters, PayPal pledgers, and people gifting subs on Kick or subscribing on Kick or sending kicks on Kicks. No matter how you support us, you can also buy me a coffee or a beer. No matter how you support us, we thank and appreciate each and every one of you. But that's all I got for you. So until next time, friends, my name is Stephen Canby, and good night. God bless all of you.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now.